Please, Tim Bick. Good evening. Nice to see there's one or two people slightly older than me. Now, I don't know if you remember a time when this green and sceptred aisle was full of rather amateurish, endearingly amateurish tourist attractions. I believe actually on the up on the cliffs here, there was quite a bad one. If you went down into the caves there was some extraordinarily wonky animatronic pirates back in the 80s. Anyway, sadly, most of these probably have expired, but one still keeps the flame alive. Klevedon Hatch, secret nuclear bunker, conceived in the Cold War and providing one of several refuges for the government of the day, is now a tourist attraction. But because it's a secret nuclear bunker, not easy to find. You need to know what to look for. Skills in orienteering, code breaking, that sort of thing. Still nothing. And when you finally arrive, set in rural woodland, this innocent-looking building serves as the entrance. And the first thing you see as you approach the door is this. Please go in and help yourself to a tape/1 player, hanging on your right. We strongly recommend the one players, as you can stop to look at the short 10-minute films which greatly enhance the experience. I contend you could watch the 10-minute films without even touching a one player. It doesn't make any difference. And with a slightly hectoring tone that you will shortly become familiar with, look at the displays properly. By the way, you do require a permit before taking a photograph, such as the one that I've just taken. Before taking a photo with video, weirdly it says. Maybe I'm just not up on technology, I'm not sure how you do that. Now please serve yourself to the recorder. It's no longer a tape/1 player, it's now a recorder, which is behind the cage to your right. Speaks of a warm welcome. Pay on exit, read the instructions. There they are. They're not tape players, nor are they recorders, they're simply solid-state audio guide devices of the sort with which you're doubtless familiar. And opposite them, on my latest visit, they'd added this, which is a DVD of the owner basically reading out all the instructions that are scattered, you can see them behind him, scattered across the walls all around the room. And in a nice surreal twist, he's filmed himself, if I'm standing here watching the video, he's filmed himself against that wall. So if you turn around quickly, you think you might spot him, but no. Are you looking in a mirror? It's hard to tell. Needless to say, I think his expression captures it quite well there. He's not a happy man. He knows you're going to do bad things in his nuclear bunker, and he's trying to stop you. Don't forget you need a permit before taking a photograph like that, of course. And an additional helpful note, you can purchase this from the canteen. Where is the canteen, I hear you ask? I hadn't seen any sign of a canteen, so I thought, oh, maybe it's back, I'll go back to the entrance and maybe it's around to the right or something. Not permitted. Turn back round. Obviously press 1 on your tape/1/recorder player. Serve yourself to a now-to-pixed out tape/1 player. Listen to the first bit in this room, nice little touch there. He's added a little extra helpful bit of felt tip pen instruction there. And please note that the films turn off at 4:15. I'm not really sure why he's telling you that. It's not like you're going to get there at 4:20 and stare at a blank screen thinking, maybe it'll come on again. We don't know. This is a particular favourite of mine because it's the sign cluster for which this building is justly famous. There's almost too much to take in. I enjoy the bit about copyright. This is the copyright of any film, video, or audio recording in any media made in the bunker belongs to J.A. Parish and Sons. This is the gentleman we saw earlier. I'm not sure that's quite how copyright law works, but maybe I'm wrong. And then you can't, because I took this picture quite badly, you can't really see this bit properly, so I'll just read this out to you. It actually says down the bottom, very rarely, but sometimes, the dull emergency, the electricity fails and dull emergency lights may come on. I assume that's describing their brightness rather than, and then underneath it says, there are mannequins on display, some very lifelike. Can you tell who it is yet? Now, I'm not to diss Mrs. Thatcher at all, but I work professionally as a voiceover artist, and I can tell you, because I've been trained, that's an incorrect way to wear headphones. Obviously, kill your children before you bring them in. Now, it is not optional. Do not pass this point without a wand. So if you do not have one, go back and get one. And in a little sarcastic touch, this really does mean you. But you can't go back and get one, obviously. Don't pass here without a guide or a tape player. I don't know whether that's another form of machine or whether that means a person. Keep smiling as you are on TV throughout the bunker. If you've not heard about the bits on the tape, you're going too fast! And obviously, no exit back this way. Adult ones. Adult ones. You saw the ones earlier, didn't you? You saw those ones, those orange things. Yeah, they're all exactly the same. There are no children's ones. You do need a permit. And also, you can buy bunker postcards. It suddenly tells you in the middle of a corridor for no apparent reason. 8 for £1, 20p each. Now, that's an example of one of the postcards they've pinned underneath it. There it is. Well worth the money, I think you'll agree. Now, to do with that, that's taken in this room, which is, serves an obvious purpose. I took my own photo, which looks pretty much exactly the same, only very slightly more in focus. And I took it from that angle, which is exactly the same angle as them, because they put a chain across the door, so you can't actually get inside the room. You can only just sort of wedge yourself in a crack. So when they took that, they didn't even bother to unchain their own door. They just sort of... Another nice little cluster. You want to hear about that blast door, don't you? You won't hear about it if you go too fast. And just in case you weren't familiar with the concept of stairs, there's a helpful graphic. There's a fairly harmless lady. Excuse me. Oh, by the way, a quick note about the assorted technology you'll see in the bunker. It's absolutely stuffed with ancient, disused electronic equipment of various sorts. None of this is from its heyday, because the government, understandably, removed it all when they stopped using it. So what Mr. Parish has done is he's bought up a few truckloads of cheap, abandoned equipment of whatever he could get hold of, and he's just scattered it around the place. Don't forget.